DIY Halloween tricks and treats. For the first spiderweb, take out a paper doily and draw out a spiderweb shape. After you draw it, cut it out. For a more precise spiderweb shape, fold the doily like it's a paper snowflake made out of a coffee filter. Then draw your spiderweb shape and cut it out. When it's done, it should look like this. If you don't have a paper doily, you can just use a coffee filter just like a paper snowflake. Another alternative to using a doily would be to use a piece of paper. Here I'm using a popsicle stick to draw a sort of snowflake shape to be the base of the spiderweb. Then from there I just made the little loops and it became a spiderweb shape. After cutting it out, it looked like this. For a more realistic spiderweb, tie pieces of string together into a spiderweb shape. For a big flowing cobweb, use some cheesecloth to spread out and make a spiderweb out of that. You can layer the spiderwebs together to make a spooky look. First lay down the doily, then add something like a pumpkin on top, drape over the string spiderweb, and spread out the cheesecloth around it. For the paper spiderweb, I put a tiny little skull on top, and then I added some other objects around, and once again spread out the cheesecloth. Instead of handing out candy from the bag, grab a metal bucket and a burlap strip. Add something like glue dots to the back of the burlap strip to attach it to the bucket. Next, I used a paper punch to punch out a tag shape. If you don't have a paper punch, you can easily cut one out by hand. Then I wrote a little message. You can write trick or treat, happy Halloween, anything you'd like. Then use some colorful twine to tie it to the bucket. Don't forget to trim off any excess. Lastly, add in your candy. Spookify your little tea light candles by adding some spooky Halloween colored washi tape. And if it's not Halloween, you can add any other kind of washi tape to make it something for Christmas, 4th of July, anything. Take some patterned burlap, add some glue dots, and wrap it around a mason jar for a candle holder. You can have all your little tea lights next to each other and dim the lights, or spread them out and drop in your candle holder. To create some decorative toothpicks, punch out some different shaped circles, stamp or write on some messages, tack the smaller circle into the bigger circle, bonus, if you put a smaller black circle inside the white one, it kind of looks like an eyeball. Lastly, just use some ordinary tape and tape it to the back of the circle. Do that to all of the toothpicks, and you have some spooky decorative toothpicks. Put out a spooky tray, add some blood red fruit cups for a healthy option, and stab in your toothpicks. For some witches' potions, gather some different sized and shaped glass bottles and pour in some acrylic paint. You can use food coloring for this, but I prefer acrylic paint because it creates for an opaque liquid. Then add in some water and lastly, shake and stir until all the liquids are fully opaque. For a drinkable witch potion, just pour out some ginger ale into some cups for a spooky, sparkling drink. You can drink whatever drink you want. I think ginger ale just kind of looks the spookiest. Lastly, add in some chevron straws to go with the other chevron decor. And bonus tip, use some washi tape to differentiate the straws. Lastly, drape a dark tablecloth over a table. Use some burlap as a table runner. Start to spread out your cheesecloth as your giant cobweb. Add larger items like a bucket of candy, a pumpkin, and a foam skull. Then add the smaller objects, like this small skull with the other spiderwebs. Don't be afraid to add an apple or two. Then I placed out all of the tea light candles and the candle holder. And then I began to place all my potions. Now here's a tip. Since I had 2 green potions and an orange pumpkin and an orange potion, I had to be sure that I didn't place the colors next to each other. This is a tip for any arrangement that you'll ever do. Then I added a little witch broom and this tiny little rat. Then I set out my blood red fruit cups and my drinks. And there you go. That's the look together. Dim the lights and you're ready to get your party on. Happy Halloween!